Hello everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay. Hello everyone. I'm Sarah Shaw from Fubao-The Battery. I'm very glad to that you can take time out of your busy schedule to attend this webinar, and I look forward to a fruitful exchange between us. First, I will give you a brief introduction to China's current the ion recycling market.
Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Can you see this picture?
Yes, I can.
Okay, let's start.
Just let me log in from my laptop, please. Just give me 1 minute.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Okay, let's start. First of all, a brief introduction to our company. Fubao-The Battery is a new energy integrated platform which mainly provides market codes, industry data, market reports, and other services for the whole industry chain. At present, the prices of lithium ore, lithium carbonate, and lithium battery recycling released by Fubao-The Battery have become an important reference for enterprise settlement. Next, I may explain to you from 4 aspects. Let's begin the first part. Okay, we can see the penetration rate of new energy automotives in 2023. China's new energy automotive production reached 9.55 million units, an increase of 35.65%. The cumulative penetration rate has reached 31%, and the output is expected to reach 30 million units by 2025. Overall, the compound annual growth rate of China's new energy automotive production is 62.51%.
Sorry, Sarah.
Eh?
We cannot
Okay.
see your presentation. It's frozen.
Oh, sorry, I'll check it.
We are still on the first slide. Yes, it's working now. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. We can see the penetration rate of the new energy automotives in 2023. China's new energy automotive production reached 9.55 million units, an increase of 35.65%. The cumulative penetration rate has reached 31%. and the output expected to reach 13 million units by 2025. Overall, the compound annual growth rate of China's new energy automotive production is 62.51%. Then we use Porter's 5 forces model to analyze. The first is competition. The number of registered power battery recycling enterprises in China has reached 137,000, and only 156 whitelist enterprises have been recognized by the state. And the second is the bargaining power of buyers under a situation of unbalanced supply and demand in order to maintain the normal operation of the open production line. Hydrometallurgy enterprises is buyer. Sorry, can you see the picture?
Still on the slide 6.
6. It just can be shown like this.
Yeah, okay.
Let's go on. The hydrometallurgy enterprises as buyers are in a weak position in the price war, and their bargaining power is low. However, the emergence of alternative raw materials has also increased the bargaining power of them to a certain extent. And thirdly, threat of new entry. Automobile and battery companies are at the core of the industry for their resource advantages and financial support. Third-party recycling enterprises, including GEM, Tianqi, have strong professionalism, but a little lack in channels and resources, such as cooperation with car companies. Battery companies will be able to improve its core competitiveness in the recycling market, and vice versa is a threat. Then, threat of substitution. The substitution of nickel cobalt salt comes from the mineral-based salt products that have been operating for many years. The substitution of echelon batteries comes from A and B products of battery manufacturers. The last one is bargaining power of suppliers. First, about social source. There are many market participants. The flow of used batteries is unclear. The circulation of them is less, and the bargaining power of the supplier is strong. Then, about the factory waste. Battery manufacturers have great bargaining power. Okay, then we have made a theoretical calculation of the lithium recovery volume in the next 5 years, and it is expected that by 2028, the amount of waste and decommissioning of lithium recycling plants in China can reach 2.69 million tons, with a compound growth rate of 34.11%. China, we generally refer to NCM and NCA as ternary batteries. We can see from the figure. The steady growth of ternary waste is expected to reach 0.87 million tons by 2028. With increasing installed capacity of LFP batteries, the main type will shift from the original ternary to LFP, and it is expected that the decommissioned LFP will exceed the ternary in 2027, and the whole market is expected to reach 1.74 million tons by 2028, and LCO is basically flat, about 8 kilotons in 2028. Then, in terms of metal extraction amount, with a trend of high nickel content of batteries, the extraction amount of nickel service increased significantly. The growth rate of cobalt sulfate extraction slowed down, with lithium carbonate increased steadily. According to the current nickel cobalt lithium metal extraction rate in the industry, it is expected to produce 1.2 million tons of metal salt products from lithium waste by 2028. The amount of each type has been shown there. Then we see that in terms of the output value by 2028, we expect it will reach 51.6 billion yuan with a compound growth rate of 23.72%. Although the metal unit price is bearish in the future, the overall output value is also increasing due to the increase in production. And in the second part, we simply review the trend of lithium recycling waste in the past 3 years. Okay, first, this chart is the price index trend of China's used lithium batteries since 2021. The price index can be understood as the weighted average price of different models of each battery, such as ternary batteries including 523 and 622 and other type. And the ternary battery price index is the weighted average price of these types. It can be observed that the price of lithium battery waste is highly correlated with the price trend of the lithium carbonate, and it shows a cyclical difference. And from July 2021 to March 2022, under the mismatch of supply and demand, the price of lithium has skyrocketed, driving the waste to. From May to December 2022, the industrial chain is strong. Lithium prices are soaring and waste is rising again. And from September to July 2022, the terminal demand is less than expected, and the lithium prices have peaked and fallen. From July to December 2023, lithium carbonate futures, listed price entered a stable period. Now we turn to the price trend of black mass from 2021 to now. The price of black powder is basically positively correlated with the trend of lithium carbonate and waste. Since the weakening of lithium carbonate at the end of 2022, the price of waste and black mass is basically also a downward trend. Overall, in the first half of this year, compared with last year, the comprehensive decline of used batteries reached 34%, and the comprehensive decline of black mass reached 41%. In the third part, I will introduce the current supply, demand, and output situation in China. First, lithium prices have declined rapidly, and the purchase and inventory has been significantly reduced compared with 2022. The rising rate of factory waste is significant. Some companies had added some new capacity in 2023, so they received goods in order to maintain the normal operation of the production line. Next, we took a look at the metal salt recovery extraction data. As we can see in 2023, the amount was 0.22 million tons, an increase of 4.63%. In 2023, the output value as metal salt extraction from lithium battery waste is 15.7 billion yuan, a decrease of 40.25%. Then we look at the current capacity and actual utilization rate. According to the statistics of Fubao, as of 2023, China's built recycling capacity of 22.7 37 million tons per year, of which the new capacity in 2023 is about 0.86 million tons. And this is a map of recycling capacity by province in China. The total capacity under construction and planted is about 11 million tons per year, an increase of about 170% compared with 2022. This chart is the description of the capacity under the construction by provinces. However, in fact, the amount of power battery decommissioning is far from the current processing capacity, and the utilization rate of the built capacity in 2023 is only about 14.73%. Okay, picking the chart. The comprehensive. Oh, sorry. First is the polymer crushing gross profit from 2022 to present. The comprehensive gross profit margin in 2023 is minus 0.17%. Lithium carbonate in early May 2023 from the highest value of 315,000 yuan per ton fell to 180,000 yuan per ton, and then keep the decrease trend to October. Following by it, crushing gross profit have declined. You can see that the ternary battery crushing gross profit is basically negative from May to July. In this year, copper and aluminum prices have risen sharply, so the crushing profit also have increased. Switching to this gross profit of hydrometallurgy, and the average gross profit margin in 2023 is 7.6%. Affected by the decline in the price of metal, the economy of hydrometallurgy in 2023 has been damaged to the beginning of this year. Nickel, cobalt, lithium metal salt prices have been have been fluctuated in the low range. Hydrometallurgy gross profit has been basically maintained in negative market inverse seriously. Then we will focus on the economy of different raw materials. In comparison, it can be seen the economy of recycled materials is better than others. But lithium carbonate, the economic advantages of recycled materials is slightly weaker than others. Nickel and cobalt are still profitable, so the market current prefers waste with high nickel content. Finally, let's look at the current operation rate of recycling enterprises in China. Operating since August last year. On the whole, the operating rate of the hydrometallurgy is higher than the crushing gross profit and more stable, mainly because the equipment maintenance cost is higher, and most of them also operate other raw materials such as brine and electrolyte, in addition to waste. The operation situation of crushing enterprises is greatly affected by the market, and the market downturn will choose scrap trend rather than start operation. This is my share today. Thank you for listening, and I hope it can help you understand the current market. And believe that through the next, let's listen to the CEO of Lico Materials, Ms. Gaurav Dangwin. Sorry, I can't read your name correctly, maybe. Introduce
No
us
problem.
to battery recycling and circular economy in India.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for having me today. My name is Gaurav Dolwani. I'm the CEO at Lyco Materials, which is a recycling company based in India. Would you be sharing the presentation?
Yes, yes. Hello?
Yes. Hi, Sarah. Would you be sharing the presentation?
他的 presentation. You can do it on your computer. You can do it on your computer yourself.
Just give me 1 second, please. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
All right. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for having us here. As I said, my name is Gaurav Dolwani. I'm the CEO at Lyco Materials. So today's agenda, we'll be talking about the battery demand and the EV market, the need and potential for battery recycling, circular economy, challenges and gap analysis, and a case study for Lyco Materials. So the first step is, what is the expected growth in the Indian battery demand? So as per our government studies, we have seen that by 2030, battery demand is expected to rise to 260 gigawatt hours. A majority of that comes from stationary storage as well as electric mobility. India's adoption story has only recently taken off over the last 2 to 3 years, and with exponential gain in both sectors of energy storage as well as mobility, we believe that the market size is poised to increase significantly. In a very similar market from most of Southeast Asian countries from maybe 5 or 10 years ago, we rely dominantly on the low speed vehicles for two-wheelers, three-wheelers, and also for buses. And that is where we see increased adoption in India today. Of course, energy storage also remains to be a very large part of the story, which we have just started now. So we believe that over the next 6 years, we will see a very large incremental increase in battery demand in India. So there is a definite need and potential for battery recycling. Recycling of batteries for India are to generate a source for rare metals. India does not have any of the critical minerals such as lithium, nickel, or cobalt, and relies on import very heavily. So using recycling technologies, we believe that 95% of the material that is in batteries can be reused again and again and can be used, without compromising on the performance of recycled batteries. If we do not recycle these batteries, what will happen? They will reach landfills, they're environmental hazards. Also, we understand that the environmental impact of recycling from lithium-ion battery waste is significantly less from metal extraction in mines. The import dependency, as I mentioned, we have none of the critical minerals available in India. India's major import partner for batteries and for cells is China, followed by Hong Kong. So So I think looking at the COVID-19 pandemic and the recent wars between Russia and Ukraine, each country, each region wants to build its independent battery material supply chain. I think India, just like any other country, is thinking of the same. And today we are just at the beginning of cell manufacturing, because as of now, there is no cell manufacturing in India. It's poised to come next year. So we feel that creating a well-established recycling ecosystem can discover resale values for batteries for reuse and for recycling. At this stage, the market in India is still at a very nascent and infant stage. There is a lot we have to learn from countries in the East, such as China and South Korea. The circular economy challenges and gap analysis. When we receive, this is what our typical diagram looks like for us. When we receive batteries for mobility, which is still very low, because 90% of our batteries still come from personal devices, but the 10% of batteries that we receive that are typically NMC and a little bit of LFP, these come from vehicles which are typically two and three wheeler, smaller speed, low speed vehicles. When we get these batteries, we determine what the SOH is. And then if there is an option of repurposing, we do that and give it a second life application. And in the case that we cannot recover anything from these batteries and cannot use it in an energy storage application, then we take it towards recycling. So batteries that we can get from mobility can be considered for a second life, but those batteries we get from energy storage and personal devices have reached the end of life. So we see what the challenges are in the gap mapping in the circular economy, from design and manufacturing these batteries, from performance and durability, usage in the first life. The big challenges we see in India is the reverse logistics. So collection, sorting, transportation remains quite difficult and remains challenging. Safe transportation is something that we are always talking about, and we think it's extremely crucial. But safe transportation comes at a cost. So the question is that who really wants to bear the cost? Of course, and at our facility, we do diagnostics and refurbishment, which means that we can do a safe dismantling, discharging, and then breaking down to from a pack to a module level, and if required, from module to cell level to make a second life pack. Second life could be mostly stationary. Yes, we could put it in mobility in a low speed application like powering a bicycle, but primarily it would be a stationary storage device. And then we bring those packs back at their end of their life and ultimately go through a mechanical separation process in recycling. The case study for LICO. So what do we do at LICO, right? LICO is a recycling company with a focus to create a sustainable circular economy solution in the lithium-ion battery supply chain. We wish to recover critical minerals such as lithium, cobalt, manganese, and nickel, and we want to put that back into the supply chain. Today, LICO is in a position where we do only mechanical separation. We have two different plants in India. One is in Mumbai with a capacity of 3,000 tons of battery input, and another one in Bangalore, which is a input capacity of 18,000 tons of batteries. So combined, we do 21,000 tons of batteries of mechanical separation where we arrive at black mass. At this stage, we are looking to finalize our technology partner to set up a hydrometallurgy plant for processing 10,000 metric tons of NCM black mass. This technology partner are those that we have been talking to for the last 1.5 years, from basically from China and South Korea. We believe that as they have experience and they have proven themselves at commercial scale with large volumes, we believe that they would be the right partner for us rather than us reinventing the wheel and doing it from scratch. We have received lab level battery grade purified material, but we believe that to take it from lab to commercial scale is going to be extremely challenging and difficult to execute. and hence we are looking at a partner from, as I said, from China and South Korea that can help us in making sure that we can go downstream and build a plant with their technology that will recover battery grade purity of critical material. We have been testing some of our output material from our lab level with precursor manufacturers. We are also part of a large group that is building an anode plant in India, the US, and Finland. So we have an in-house understanding and studies for how we can use recovered graphite for anode material. Of course, it cannot be used directly, but it can be blended with virgin material. Within our group, there's been a recent acquisition in Germany from a Johnson Massey plant for LFP cathode. Within our group, the company's name is Epsilon Advanced Material. So our idea is ultimately to be a circular economy provider. And for that, we want to go step by step till we have offtake from our own sister companies for the anode and cathode. So ultimately, the goal for us is to recover all battery grade minerals from spent lithium ion batteries and put them back into the battery supply chain. Thank you very much for listening to me, and I appreciate the honor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your rich and clear sharing. Okay, we can have a more complete understanding of the India market and technology. Now we will welcome Lin Shiquan, General Manager of International Marketing Division of Botree. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, thank you, Sarah. Yeah, I will share my screen. Yes, it works, right?
Yeah, it works.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm Lin. Yeah, you can also call me Shiquan. Yeah, currently I'm working at Botree in charge of Botree overseas business. Yeah, so for today, I just share some of our expertise and experience in battery recycling field. So part one, yeah, just some market review. Yeah, currently, actually, we are facing some challenge for the new energy industry, especially for lithium-ion industry. So currently, as we know that most of the battery materials still come from the virgin material from the mining. But for the mining developing, we still have some problem like carbon dioxide emission, like high energy consumption, and such material, if dominate the market, that to say this is not a new energy industry. So that's why battery recycling is a key for this material. And this is the market actually, like also mentioned the market in India. Yeah, currently worldwide the spent battery retirement is coming. So that to say the time for recycling is getting closer. And currently we think the market volume is enough to support the battery recycling business. Especially in China, we have a huge capacity for lithium-ion battery recycling. And currently in Europe, in North America, and other countries, they are building more and more battery material plant and also gigafactory, produce a lot of production scribes and spent battery. So we think we are having a great opportunity to develop such recycling material to help the industry close the loop. Yeah, in part two, the Botree role actually, Botree is providing the recycling solution to this industry, especially for the lithium-ion recycling. So currently, Botree developing state-of-the-art recycling capacities for lithium-ion battery, and is unique in providing industrial leading closed-loop recycling solution. And currently, we are serving several top recycling company, and also like some vehicle OEMs, battery manufacturer like CATL, Fubao-The, and Brown. And outside China, yeah, we also have some top partner and client. Yeah. And currently, actually, we are helping the global recycler to design, upgrade, and manage the battery recycling operations safely, quickly, efficiently, and cost effectively. Yeah, this is our global branches. We set up several facilities in China to demonstrate the recycling technology. And we also have our R&D center in China and a demonstration factory in several different factories. Outside China, we also have some subsidiaries like in Singapore, in Europe, in North America. We have our own subsidiary companies. And yes, because recycling is a brand new industry, actually. So global collaboration very important. So that's why we are activity to participate some global organizations like GBA Battery Passport Project, and also like ISO Lithium Project. So we worked together with some international company player organizations to make some codes and standard for this new industry. And yes, and for example, like a GBA Passport Project, actually we work with some top player like CATL, like BASF, LG Chem, and also Tesla. So we work with them together and make some codes and standard for this recycling industry. And part 3, yeah, just present some recycling solutions for this industry. So this is some solutions. Currently, we know if we consider lithium-ion battery recycling, the first part is we need to do some physical separation and physical processing. So in this part, we need to make the battery cells into the black powder and other metal products first. But this is only the first step. And in order to get the final battery material, we still need to do a lot of chemical part. So we call it metal extraction. Sometimes we also call it hydromet recycling. So after this hydro recycling technology, we can get the battery grade metal salt like nickel salt, lithium salt, cobalt salt. And currently, yeah, the direct material regeneration also become very popular and hot. In the currently, yeah, we are also developed such a facility. Currently, we finished the pilot and pilot scale project construction work. Yeah, this is some recycling pathways. So currently, the hydro process recycling is most popular because this is a much mature and proven technology in the world. And currently, we use a lot of chemicals to leach and purify and separate and make them into battery material. And currently, we also use some latest technology like direct recycling to process some specific material like production scraps. Then we can directly get the chem and anode material. Yeah, this is a short, very short process to do the recycling. Yeah, and this is some pretreatment system. Yeah, in China, in our own demonstration factory, we finish all the machine construction work. and install a very high efficient machine to get the high quality black mass and other metal products. We also developed the mobile threading system. This is also world's first one. It's very flexible and it can be used in some overseas markets. It's very flexible because you can just transport such a container by truck and then collect the battery from a different place. And we also developed some high efficient lithium extraction technology from NMC-based batteries. So currently, we have very high purity lithium product, and also the impurity content much lower. So for this technology, we can directly convert such lithium into battery grade material in a short process and less energy consumption. And we complete our demonstration factory build construction in China. Yeah, currently already put it into operation. So we successfully got the battery grade lithium salt from this plant. And this is the RRP, FRP recycling. Yeah, sometimes we have some problem like lithium price, because currently lithium price is decreasing. So a lot of recyclers, they are discussing such a project is profitable or not. And from our experience, we develop much short process to do the lithium extraction to reduce the capex and opex for such RRP battery recycling. This is also our demonstration photos from our Loda base. And for ANC and all NAC recycling, currently, yeah, in China, solvent extraction technology is much more popular. So in this technology, we can directly get the battery grade material and much more mature. And currently, we have some unique technology for this part. We call it the co-extraction technology. So from co-extraction technology, we can shorten the process and lower the capex and opex. Such process is suitable for the PCAM production. Yeah, we also have some direct recycling from the battery electrolyte. Then we use some very special method. Then we can directly get to the battery grade material. That's to say, we do not need a pre-treatment system to produce a black mass, and we do not need a hydropart. We can directly get the powder, can powder, and then back to the battery material production chain. So for this part, we also completed the pilot construction work. Yeah, we also have some fast installation solution, because currently in overseas market, the construction cost on job site is much higher. So we developed some pre-assembling technology, and then we can reduce the site construction work. And yeah. And for European market, they also have some safety and CE certification requirement. So for battery, this year, we already obtained the CE certification for the whole hydro recycling technology. That to say, we can use our solution directly in European market and also in North American market. Yeah. Part for the last part, just some our global footprints. So currently we have our footprints in 4 business divisions and over 10 countries. We complete over 45 recycling projects. Yeah, this is our reference mine. Yeah, from here you can see we have reference in Europe, in North America, in China, yeah, mainly because we start recycling business several years ago, and we have a lot of collaboration with our top client in China. Yeah, also have a lot of footprints in China market. Yeah, in this industry, yeah, we would like to see the global collaboration is very important and critical, especially, yeah, we have some proven technology and how to use such technology in other markets and how to develop the local partnership is very critical for Wuxi. Yeah, just a very short presentation. Yes, thank you, Sarah. Yeah, that's my presentation, Sarah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Okay, I believe that you now have a lot of curiosity and questions about the global differences in recycling and the cooperation opportunities. Let's move on to the discussion section of this seminar. The members of the seminar are from Bromp Recycling, AHK China, Battery Recycling, Lyco Materials, and Economy Battery. Now we can do a simple self-introduction to each other for several minutes. Let's start from AHK. Okay.
Hi, Sarah. Hi, everyone. Good to see you again, Dr. Lin. I see. Yes, I think we met each other a couple years ago in Chengdu conference, right, Lin? Hello. And equally,
yeah,
I think
we might 2 years ago, I guess,
yes.
2022. Yeah.
Yes, 2022. And for equally, I think I met Mr. Jaden a couple months ago in Malaysia or maybe in Singapore. And welcome, Gaurav. Thank you, Mr. Gaurav. You give me some understanding about the India domestic market regarding the battery recycling, and I may have some questions for you later. And also good to see a colleague from Bromp. Bromp is one of our key clients from the raw materials to the recycling materials. And thanks for Sarah to organize such a event for all of us to can sit together and discuss face to face. For myself, I'm working for Alfred H. Knight, a global third party company. We operate laboratory over the world, and our main business is to produce the COA to accelerate your trading. So whenever you want to do some trading, you always have some concern regarding the value or maybe the value of your cargoes. And then our COA can help you to understand very clear about the variable and the penalty elements inside of the cargoes. This is our main business. We can provide the sampling and also the analysis service. But it's not a key topic today. And I hope to meet your guys in area of the world. So this is all from myself. And I'm based in China, so I can meet Sarah and maybe Ms. Lim more frequently. And I myself in charge of the APAC regions circular economy. So that's all from my side. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next.
Hello, my name is Ece. I know hard to pronounce it, so have a nice day, by the way. My name is Ecem. I am the Global Head of Administration in Economy Battery. Actually, today I also created you a small presentation, maybe 5 to 10 minutes if you want. I can share my screen and I can present. It will be mainly about the closed loop recycling between focusing on Asia and Europe, so integrating with our business operations. Nice to meet you. Currently, I am in Malaysia. Our company is located in Malaysia. It's also setting up different kind of GV partnerships all around the world, but we set up our biggest facility in Malaysia. So let me share my screen and just like give you a quick recap about this industry, this market also, since we didn't mention about them.
Sure. We can do it. We can do it later.
Okay, thank you. Can you see my screen right now, my presentation?
Clearly, yes. Yes, clearly.
Okay, perfect. When I do like that, can you also still see? Because sometimes causing a problem in PowerPoint.
You please. Yes.
Okay. Thank you for giving me a chance in this webinar. So it is a great opportunity to meet with all of you. So first, I would like to mention about the global lithium-ion battery recycling market. So when we look at the analysis of the market, we can say that this is the fastest growing market in Asia Pacific. And in 2023, it has been noted that global investment in the lithium-ion battery recycling market itself was around 9.2 billion USD and continue to increasing. So when we look at the prices of the batteries itself, we can say that the price of lithium-ion batteries are falling down steadily over the past 10 years. So this is related with the various applications and also availability of the product, as well as the increasing business opportunities within this area. And we can say that actually in 2017 and 2018, the price mainly decreased like about 18%, which caused a deep decline in terms of the prices itself. So when I try to understand the market itself, what I can say is this actually. The market is fragmented with a few big recyclers, battery recyclers, competing strongly against under-regulated or less regulated industry players for feedstock. And there is a growing trend towards a regional or local hub and spoke model as opposed to centralized operations. When we look at the DIB market recycling in Asia, we can say that there are different kinds of government initiatives in order to support the zero emission agenda or sustainable agenda. We can say that in China, the recycling target between 2020 and 2025 is planned to increase from 40% to 50%. In Japan is also trying to recycle all the EV spent LIBs by 2023, maybe around 90% of them. This is also one of their points. And when we look at the South Korea EV spent LIB recycling target, they also want to make a 60% increase by 2025. And when we look at India, and until 2030, they want to increase their recycling, EV spent recycling market up to 70%. When we look at the market status in Asia, we can say that China is the largest single country market for EV production and consumption. And also there are more than 34,000 lithium-ion battery recycling 34,000 companies related with the lithium-ion battery itself, and approximately 40% of them are concentrated with battery recycling. And Asia Pacific is dominating the market share with the largest market share of 44%. And when we look at the China again, China is accounting for 6% of EV sales, representing a segmented market, while Europe and the USA each holding 25 and 15% of the market respectively. And they are also suffering from a shortage of recyclers within their respective regions. I think mainly because of that, we are seeing, in order to create these critical metals within their own regions or within their own countries, there are good investments that a couple of companies managed to raise in both in the USA and also in Europe. When we look at the Europe, when we look at the recycling initiatives, it is much more easy compared to the other parts of the world. Why? Because market in here doesn't have that much gray zones. Everything is regulated, and this is giving customers and also business investors and other stakeholders kind of confidence to be in the European Union itself. And they have good initiatives in order to stop illegal lithium-ion battery recycling import and export operations. And in 2026 and in 2023, actually, European Union made good initiatives in order to regulate the market much more. And also one of them is called as battery passports, which gives traceability of the battery, lithium-ion batteries itself, both EVs and also other types of consumer batteries. When we look at the strategic drivers, we can see that the European Union is making substantial investments to support both battery manufacturing and also battery recycling initiatives. One of them, the biggest green loan that has been given to the approximately, as I remember, 5 billion to Northvolt in order to close loop the battery manufacturing and battery recycling within the Europe itself. Actually, one of the other things that I liked about the Europe itself, so they made a mandatory use of recycled material, and starting from 2031, they want to use recycled materials of 6% for cobalt, 85% for lead, 6% for lithium, and 6% for nickel. And by 2036, these targets will rise to 64 for cobalt, 85 for lead, and 12% for lithium, as well as with 15% for nickel in order to push their green agenda. When we look at the market itself, we can say that the main supply and the main idea of supporting or investing these industries related with the much more integration of the EV batteries and EV cars in the countries. But what I see compared to the Europe and USA, in Asia, it is being relatively slower than expected. And the second problem we face actually, most of the automotive companies are asking, rather than recycling those batteries, asking for reuse and reclamation of the batteries itself. Why? Because when we take those batteries from the EV cars, the density can be more than 70% or 6%, and rather than recycling them, it is possible to give them a second life, and second life batteries will be much more cheaper for the consumers itself, and which will lower the prices of EVs and also increase the availability of the products all around the world. But the problem is there is not too much company who are focusing on battery reuse and reclamation itself. And availability of the second life EV batteries in Asia may take approximately 2 years, actually. So the same thing can be made with LFP batteries, because LFP battery applications are also wide, as you are also mentioned. And rather than recycling them, if the density is higher than 60, I think it's better to recover LFP battery itself also, because it is much more profitable and increasing the profit margin. When we look at, and also there are good investments and good manufacturing hubs they are planning to open, both in Asia and Malaysia, especially. There are 4 different big players that wants to come here. And we can say that at least manufacturing scrap itself will be available within the next 2 years. But after, let's say, 1 to 2 years, we will be able to reach the good size of EV, end-of-life EV or second-life EV batteries. So when we say that, when we look at that, actually, mainly in Asia, The market is quite fragmented, market is competitive, and regulations are not watched that much. And this is causing in most of the countries, like in Malaysia, India, Thailand, and other parts of the main Asian countries, and illegal operations. And this is one of the things that we would like to solve in Malaysia itself, and also try to affect different kind of stakeholders and try to gather different government initiatives in order to give this transaction much more clear way. Because every people has their own way of making of trade in terms of batteries, and those are flowing from where to where. So I think this is not this is not making trustable like the countries like Malaysia or I think Thailand or India in terms of the market condition, let's say. This is the main thing actually we are tackling. This is also another point that I would like to show, because when we look at the global lithium-ion battery related investments, we can say that actually there are good initiatives and also good steps towards it. According to the Crunchbase data, the global investment in battery-related startups surged to approximately 9.2 billion in 2023. And what does that mean? Like most of the recycling batteries or closed-loop battery solution companies, actually, it signifies a promising outlook for the time that we have. But as I mentioned you, the main problem related with the regulations and within the country and also between the countries is another point that we should try to impress also. As last point, I would like to show you our Malaysia hub. Actually, we have two main factories within Malaysia. One of them is a battery recycling facility dedicated to mechanical separation and recycling of lithium-ion batteries itself to produce black powder with a capacity of 24 metric tons of capacity. And aligning with this goal, we set up a hydrometallurgical plant, and in order to extract lithium carbonate and MHP in the battery grade to sell to the other refineries within China. And as you know, most of the one of the speakers had also mentioned in here, most of the knowledge and most of the equipment are much more accessible, and also since this is the main market, our equipments are also coming from there. And we plan to have in our hydromet plant to 12,000 metric tons of extracting capacity in order to produce lithium carbonate and MHP. We have also another ongoing plan within the Europe, as called as EcoNedo Battery Europe SL, and we are currently looking for some investments for this project because we want to close loop the circle between Europe and Asia. Because if you're not in Europe, it is mainly impossible to be able to conquer that market. And the location of the company that we have is in Spain, and Spain is also close to the manufacturing of automotive within the European Union, and the other costs related to the development of the company is much more lower compared to the other parts of the Europe. I would like to thank you now, since time is restricted and we have only 10 minutes of just like speak. I try to give you just like a perspective between Europe and Asia, and what are the main problems that we are tackling and how we can solve it. Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you for your wonderful sharing about Malaysia. We have benefited a lot. Okay, let's back to the self-introduction. Next, how about Mr. Lin?
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Emily, actually, I just joined the battery recycling industry 2 years ago. So previously, actually, I worked in petrochemical and chemical and power generation field. So in that field, I do a lot of EPC project and also do some project investment in overseas markets, especially in Southeast Asia. So previously we had a lot of presence in Indonesia. Yeah, but currently, some traditional power generation like a coal-fired and also like a traditional chemical. Such industry also converting to green technology like use some energy from solar panel, from photovoltaics, and from some green technology like some chemical raw material. And battery material actually sometimes also similar like some green chemical or green material, especially some like the recycling, the chemical recycling. So when we do some hydro recycling, actually we also apply a lot of chemical technology. So currently we are considering that how to combine such two industry, use some similar technology and similar experience in chemicals and hydro recyclings. And currently, we think in China, it's already very high competition already for most of recycler, especially sometimes we have some difficulties to get the feedstock. And so that's why we are having a lot of discussion and collaboration with some company and recycler outside China. So currently, latest states, actually, we also see it seems there's some opportunities in Asia areas. Because currently we know in Europe and in North America, the project progress for recycling is not so good. Sometimes the recycler in that two markets, they also need time to consider the process road, business model. So that's why later stage we can have a lot of feedstock, a lot of waste battery, black mass from that to market. So currently we also would like to discuss with discuss here. We are not sure from the market view. We have some chance in Southeast Asia or Indian market that to see in the future if Europe and North America they cannot close the loop by themselves. That to see probably they will collaborate with the Asian countries like in India, in Southeast Asia. So we are not sure. Yeah. So this is an open topic. Yeah, I would like to discuss with people here. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next. Miss Zhang from Bump Recycling is here.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I can share my screen to introduce the bump recycling. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Li Yang, representing the Bump Recycling, the recycling partner of the CATL. And thank you for your interesting presentations. And now I will introduce the Bump Recycling briefly. And Bump Recycling is founded in 2005, and we go through the 3C era, the electric vehicle era, and we developed the critical materials business such as the cathode active materials and anode materials, etc. And here is our awards, and we applied over 5,000 patents and developed nearly 400 standards. So we are the leader of the national standards for the traction battery recycling and developed the first series standards for battery recycling in China. And in 2023, our total revenue achieved 48.3 billion RMB. Here is our technological performance, and as you can see, the recovery rates of nickel, cobalt, and manganese can reach 99.6%, and the recovery rate of lithium reached 91%. And our carbon reduction and the chemical consumption is also advantages. For example, the carbon reduction for cathode active materials manufacturing is reduced from 50%, and the chemical consumption is reduced from the 40%. And about the global market share, we occupy nearly 34.4% of the battery recycling market, and our tannery precursors and the tannery foundry are also occupy a considerable market share. And here is our mode, and as the recycling partner of the CATL will design and manufacture the new batteries used in vehicle or energy storage, and then when these batteries reach their service life, the batteries will be sent to the bump to disassembly. Will be disassembly and test to discriminate whether it can be used in repurposing or be used in or be recovered to new materials. And through our unique technology, the directional recycling technology, we can convert the waste battery to the cathode materials used in new batteries. So we cooperate with CATL to finish the closed loop for battery. And here is our business in the world, and we have 7 manufacturing base in China and 2 manufacturing base for mining and recycling in Indonesia, and in Europe, our battery recycling factory is also planning. For the sustainability, actually in 2022, we get the carbon neutral factories certifications from the notified bodies, and we still put a lot of efforts on the sustainability. So that's my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot. Next, Mr. Downing, can you give a simple self-introduction? Then we will begin the discuss. Hello, Mr. Downing.
Hello.
Hello. Can
Hi,
do
sorry.
your self-introduction now.
Yeah. So my name is Gaurav Dolwani, and I'm the CEO at Lyco Materials, which is based in India. I showed my presentation a short while ago. I think some of the companies here I'm aware of. We have had a few discussions with Econolai with Jaden and Natalia. From Botry, I think we had a few discussions earlier with Mr. Lian and Mr. Wang. So some of them Brump as well in Indonesia for some material. So I mean, we have a very good idea of these companies and of course, great pedigree. And we are honored to be here with the same. For what we see in India is, of course, a very initial stage of recycling. So I think technology at commercial scale is a question. Of course, crushing or mechanical separation is still one step easier, but hydrometallurgy at large scale is not proven in India yet. We still don't have any precursor manufacturers or anode or cathode either. As I mentioned earlier, anode and cathode are coming, but right now there have been only announcements for cathode, and anode, there's only one plant being built, which is our sister company. So we are still very early in the journey, and cell manufacturing for us, there are 3 cell manufacturers that will start production next year, early next year. And then there are about eight or 9 more to follow in the next 2-3 years. So India is perhaps 5 years away from being, considered in a circular, supply chain. And I think at this point, what is important is technology sharing, material discussion, and so many things. I think one of the advantages that India brings is a low cost of R&D. I think India has a very good metals and chemicals, business and various businesses in that front. So there is strength on those sides. There is talent on those sides, which we can, use to move ahead with hydrometallurgy. But we still have a long way to go and a lot to learn. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now we start to discuss. Now, who will be the first one to ask question? Hello, Mr.
If any of you have any questions about India or the capacity or the market, I'll be happy to answer it.
Okay, thank you. Oh. Hi.
Hi, Mr. Gaurav. I have 2 questions for you. So
Sure.
I just saw your presentation that mentioned about the Indian domestic market. The recycling ratio will reach about 48% when it comes to 2030. So may I get more understanding or more details about this 48% means what?
One second, let me just open it up as well. Yes. So you could sorry, could you ask me that again?
Yes, so I saw your presentation. There is a data
Yes.
48% on 2030. At that year, it's the recycling ratio of the whole Indian domestic market?
Correct. So that percentage basically talks about what is the electric vehicle share out of the total batteries. So if it's 48% in 2026, that means 48% of the batteries that the battery demand is going to come from electric vehicles, and then the rest is for could be for personal devices, consumer electronics, could be for, and most likely for energy storage, because that's by the time we get to 2030, about 48% is for energy storage and 40% is from electric vehicle.
Okay, that's great. So as far as I know, so the country that apart from China, Japan, and South Korea, that looks not too many cells manufacturer over the world. So could you please give us some understanding about the Indian domestic cell manufacturing industry progress? So about how many kilowatt hours per year can you produce inside of India?
So in India from next year, I think the 3 cell manufacturers that are starting next year, each of them is starting at 5 gigawatt hours each. Two of them are expanding to 40 gigawatt hour, and one of them is expanding to 100 gigawatt hour. So as I said, in the next 3 to 4 years, I think we will see something in the region of maybe 500 gigawatt hour. But it's at this stage, next year, we will see only 10 to 15 gigawatt hour that is coming online at the moment.
Okay, thank you. So you just mentioned that inside of India, there's not too many
Correct.
The battery matter supply from Indian domestic. So most of these metals or minerals will be imported from overseas.
Yes, absolutely. So right now, anode and cathode will be imported from overseas. You're right.
Okay, so compare the mineral materials. How many percentage do you think the black mass will be supplied for your total consumption volume of these battery metals from next year or maybe next 5 years? Just the estimation.
So next year, I don't see it happening because we don't have any cathode manufacturers yet. We don't have any precursor yet. So by the time people will set up capacities for precursor and for CAM, I think we are looking at 3 to 4 years because the qualification process is very long as well. So I don't see a substantial volume of black mass remaining in India for further processing for the next 3 to 4 years at least. Every region, whether it's the US or Europe or every region wants to keep the black mass in their country and process it. But for that, we need to have capability and capacity, which today we don't have both.
Okay, got it. Thanks, Garth. Thank you very much for your explanation.
Thank you. No problem. You have another question?
Yes, I have also another question regarding India. Especially when I look at the last 3 years, we were not very happy to make a business with India itself in terms of procurement of the black powder in there. But what I see, especially starting from the end of last year and this year, there is an increase in terms of the quality of black powder and also competitiveness in the market of India. So that would be nice if you can give us a feedback in terms of competitive landscape and how in terms of lithium-ion battery recycling and black mass production in improving itself. So because this is a kind of a change that I have seen before that, we were not that much integrated with India, because compared to the other parts of the world, the quality of the black powder we get from there was low. But now I think India, within the Asian, is one of the strongest, on the road of being one of the strongest of black powder manufacturing country, actually.
Okay, so yeah, let me say that. So in India, there are more recycling companies coming, but at the moment, dominant players, I think, would be 4 to 5 only, because those are maybe who are the companies that have capacity and who have access to raw material from OEMs. 90% of the material still comes from personal devices. And in personal devices means in India, there is an unorganized sector. So we have to buy raw material from them. This means that the pricing of raw material in India becomes very high. And the reason why you are not seeing large volumes coming out of India is mainly this, because the raw material pricing is so high that it becomes difficult for recyclers to process that material and sell it as black mass and still be profitable. Now, there are only few recyclers who have capacities and who have long-term agreements like us, where we are still honoring them quarter on quarter on quarter. And in the interest of keeping that business long term, because one day we will also go downstream, have hydrometallurgy, have sorts. So our idea is to build those long term relations with either end users or large commodity trading companies, so that we continue that relationship when we go down to salts. So the idea is how many companies can actually provide black mass at volume. When I say volume, I mean 100 tons a month, which is not very large in China, but in India, it's large. So 100 tons a month of black mass, I think there could be only 2 or 3 companies in India who can give you that volume, with us being one of them. Now, we have an import permit to import batteries as well. And we have started importing batteries. So that may change the landscape for us towards NMC.
Another question I will ask. India is a part of OECD, as I know now, or yes. In order to import batteries itself, I think the being membership of OECD in terms of the Basel Convention is needed. So what kind of certificate you have in order to import batteries itself to India? Is it something between governments or?
No, it is through the Basel Convention, and it is imported as waste. It depends on whether batteries are considered as product or waste. So there are 2 different ways that it can go. As waste, we can import it, and we have done it. But as product, India still doesn't recognize second life batteries as a product. So that is where I think we are still learning. Now, as OECD, of course, I don't think India is part of that, like South Korea, etc.
Okay.
And then anyone has questions?
I may have a question for Mr. Zhang from Bronx. It's Zhang online.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes. So I know that Bronx had a hydrometallurgy plant in Indonesia. So could you please give up some understanding about mass imports into the Indonesia? It's country. It's free trading to go through the custom very easy, or we need to meet some specific requirements from the customers perspective.
Yeah, actually, from my knowledge and our experience, transport the black mass from the like Europe or other countries to Indonesia is still very tough, and we put a lot of efforts on this pathway. As you know, the EU doesn't define the these batteries as the waste or product, especially the black mass as the waste or products. So these ambiguous definitions make it hard to transport the black mass from the EU to other countries. especially those countries doesn't belong to the OECD. So that's my experience.
Okay. Thank you. That means not everybody can import black mass from rest of world to Indonesia, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So maybe the same question for HM. So about the Malaysia.
In terms of Malaysia, you can import black powder. In terms of black powder, there is no problem. The problem is related with the end-of-life batteries itself. Because Malaysia is also not an OECD, but actually we are pushing different kind of stakeholders in terms of that. Maybe not being a part of OECD, but different kind of bilateral or trilateral agreements can be made. And also within Asian countries itself, these gray zones can be much more structurized in order to make this business much more transparent. Because most of the time, what I see in here, in order to be able to work with a big companies itself as a recycler. So we started this business as a recycler, right? Like big automotive manufacturers like BMW, Jaguar, like BYD or something. We need transparency in terms of the traceability of the recycling itself and the transactions itself. So those regulations are harming the business itself because the capacity actually we have is big, is around 24 metric tons in Malaysia, and there is more than 30 illegal battery recycling factories in here. So what we try to do, actually, we try to mainly raise a voice in terms of that, because in terms of population and capacity of the availability of the end-of-life consumer products, Malaysia has a big potential. In terms of geography, also has a good potential. What we try to do, push our business aims together with the regulations, actually.
Yeah, thank you. So I saw a lot of my Chinese friend or my Chinese clients they travel to Malaysia to start their business regarding the battery recycling. So may I ask a further question? So from your understanding, what about the capacity of the hydrometallurgy inside of Malaysia?
Yeah, in terms of hydrometallurgy, I think still we have the biggest. There is different types of refineries. They are making some to scale, but still not as scaled as the setup that we put in Malaysia, because we have 12,000 metric tons of capacity, and now we are able to extract up to battery grade of lithium carbonate. I think 99.5%. And then MHP. So mainly we want to focus on MHP in first and lithium carbonate in the first scale, because we don't think that there is still good profit margin within the nickel and cobalt sulfate itself. So in that way, in terms of the production and profit cost, it is still complicated for us to see are we competitive or not. Because the main business in China, we try to make this business profitable within Malaysia. So because of that, mainly we will be able to focus on lithium carbonate and MHP. And in that way, the refineries within China won't be our competitors when we produce MHP. They will be our customers.
Yes,
so
because
this
you
is
know
another.
because you know that the black mass import to China is often banned by the customs. So
Yeah.
if the hydrometallurgy capability is available in Malaysia, I believe this is a good supplementary, because the black mass or maybe the end of life battery can go to Malaysia first, and after the physical processing, we can produce maybe the lower grade lithium carbonate and the MHP. And wherever the products has been transferred to MHP and lithium carbonate, it can be free import to China. So this is a good business line.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, but
in terms
we,
of tax incentive also, yeah.
Yeah, we saw some capacity in Laos, or maybe in the future, just like Spromp in Indonesia. But as far as I know, there's not really big refinery or smelter in Malaysia to handle such materials. Maybe you can give us some understanding, or maybe next time when we visit Malaysia, we can
that would be nice.
Yes, we can meet
Actually,
in person.
we have different kind of growth plans. One of them also setting up a circular economy hub within the Malaysia itself. This will mainly focus on not only battery recycling, but also different types of recycling, like alkaline batteries recycling, lead acid battery recycling, battery reuse plants, electrolytic cobalt, and e-waste recycling. Those different kind of recycling. Actually, we have a different kind of big plans, and of course, we are happy to welcome different kind of stakeholders who are interested in Malaysia, because we see the potential in here. But in order to be strong in Malaysia, I think since those areas are so gray and this is a not regulated business, so you need some support from the different government agencies, state agencies, to raise voice in terms of that. So what we try to do, actually try to achieve, is that what we are so promised in terms of in the next 5 years. I think people started to see opportunity in here. And still, when we look at the black mass export rates within the Asian itself, actually there are a lot of Chinese recyclers within the Malaysia also. So they're always here, they're always around there, but they're not that much visible. So they see the opportunity in here. What we try to do as Econody, we want to do this as regulated, as visible as much as we can, and transparent, in order to be able to work with not only China or Asian countries, but also with Europe, but with the USA, to create this closed loop battery chain itself.
So maybe the last question for you, HM. What about the EV's penetration in Malaysia?
E-based.
Yeah, EV.
Yeah, actually, there is. Actually, according to my research, there are good import in terms of EV cars within the Malaysia. In terms of manufacturing itself, there is a couple of battery EV assembly brands in here, not too much. But in terms of import of the EVs to Malaysia, there are good rates. And because of that, different kind of industry leaders are looking for battery solutions. I am just not saying on the recycling, because we also want to make a battery reclamation, like battery reuse and second life plants. But apart from that, I think rather than EVs, the main opportunity for Malaysia, there is approximately 4 ongoing projects, big projects, in terms of battery manufacturing itself. One of them also raised one of the biggest investment within the USA. Now they plan to open a lithium-ion battery manufacturing company in here. So what I see as an opportunity in Malaysia is the manufacturing scrap itself, because end-of-life EV, it still will take time. In Asia, it will take time. In Europe, it's quite faster, and in USA, it is developing faster, but in here, it will take time. So, but there are still good investments in terms of battery manufacturing in Malaysia. So this is the main opportunity I see in here in the next 1 to 2 years. And in the next 5 years, of course, EV availability will be higher. And because of that, we want to be in the level that we can give our customers 100% of traceability of the EV batteries itself. Like how European Union is doing a battery passport. So we want to do this in our internal system to attract much more customers.
Okay, that's great. Looks like it's good path for us to do this business, because not just China, but the Southeast Asia and maybe the Europe and USA, the EVs market share will be increased maybe in next 5 or next 10 years. At that moment, I think the total volume of the recycling will be huge.
Yes, so, I agree.
Yeah.
But I am seeing, of course, there will be a tendency in terms of the increase of the volume of the lithium-ion batteries and also EVs. This is like a correlation that we will see. But how many years that we can reach the goals, which kind of numbers we reach, it's including different kind of perspectives. So what will be the main reason to be in the reach of the EV goal? It takes time. What I try to say is that, so we try to be as much as optimistic we can be in our industry, but I also see that the realization of that kind of business volume for all of us will take time.
Yeah.
Especially next 3 to 5 years, yeah. But after that, everything looks much more actually bright.
Yes, hopefully it could be as quick as possible, because you know in domestic China there's plenty of capacity for the recycling, but we just lack of end of life battery or maybe black mass. The you know, the operation ratio of most of the plant is lower than 25%. So it means every month they can just have 40 operation for 1 week. This is really struggling.
Yeah, this is also another great point, actually. I recommend you to check. There is a maps, different kind of maps showing all around the world, the different kind of lithium-ion battery recycling projects, material manufacturers, and also different kind of automotive makers within the global zone. Actually, one of the maps that I have seen, you know, a lot of stakeholders are trying to still enter this industry with huge capacity of the battery recycling and also refineries. But at the end, most of them are close their projects, although they get investment. Why? Because they are not able to secure the feedstock itself.
Yeah.
So this is something actually, I am just much more realistic on that. Our business is not easy. It's not that much, you know, just like easy to tackle with.
No.
So only just like focusing on this just like purple agenda and doing this business is not that much easy. You should be able to connect with different kind of stakeholders, different kind of level of people. At the end, the lowest level of the people, not say lowest business that we integrate is a scrap people. You know, you should be able to deal with these people also.
Yeah.
So this business is hard, actually hard to tackle. You should be, I think, human engineer in order to achieve that in a successful way. So what we see, actually, it's not a waste, and we care about the all people who wants to give us their end of life batteries. The quantity, it doesn't matter, you know. So this is not a waste, it's a resource, and we are encouraging people to recycle and collect end of life batteries within Malaysia also.
Yeah. Okay, that's all from my side, Sarah.
Okay, thanks. Do anyone have any questions about Chinese market?
About Chinese market, I can ask something. As you know, now the prices are dropped. And I am curious, actually, since you are much more having a good presentation in terms of the numbers in the industry. So how will be the recovery from the situation? I think in the latest 2 months, we have seen like payable rate of approximately 40% of the black powder. So, and this is not making this profitable, because before that we were able to see around 70-75% of payable rate. So how do you think that recovery it will take time for a while, or it will recover or not? So that would be nice to hear your feedback also.
Oh, sorry. I think it may be 5 or even 10 years for the profit to increasing back to the normal level.
Thank you. Thank you for your.
If we don't have any other questions, we come to the end of today's webinar, and thank you again for your participation and this very productive day. I hope we can have more opportunities to communicate in the future and create a green future. Have a nice day. That's all for today. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Nice to meet
Thank
you.
you.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.